When was that moment we could have turned things around before it was too late?
The American empire is fast disappearing, and everybody other than the American people know it.
I'm at the point now where I don't think I fought for the country. I fought for some politician's view on something. Damn, like those are real people. I watched, yes, real people there.
References to Israel, and there are a lot of references to Israel, have all been redacted.
Yo, what's good? We're back with another one.
It's showtime.
Months from now, when we realize that the democracy we wish we'd had never came to be, and what we did have was eliminated due to some national emergency, will we ask ourselves, when was that moment we could have turned things around before it was too late? Was it when the teacher in your family had to get a second job? Was it when you first saw the friendly cop on your beat wearing this and driving around in that? Was it when, after months of being addicted to the pills you've been given to make the pain go away, that you realized it really wasn't the pain that needed to go away? Was it when you first heard that the president you dearly loved took more money from Goldman Sachs than any other contributor, and you wanted to tell someone, but instead, you just quietly threw up in your mouth? Was it when you convinced yourself that this misfortune would never come to your town? And that if this is the America we're trying to save, maybe we need to ask ourselves, why? Why save this America? The America I want to save is the America we've never had.
It's not just America, it's the same here.
Yeah, bro. History's repeating itself.
They were one of the greatest liberal democracies in the world. They were the first country to have universal health care for all citizens. They not only invented the printing press, they read more books than any other country, and it was not unusual for each of their cities to have a dozen daily newspapers, a robust free press. And they made the best movies. The art, the culture, the science. They were considered the most intelligent people on Earth. In November of 1932, they elected an immigrant, an Austrian, to be their leader. He had no political experience. He didn't talk like a regular politician. He just told it like it is. It was so refreshing. Women loved him. Children were always excited to see him. Oh, and he loved animals. He told jokes, he told stories. He was a great dancer. He talked about putting Germany first. And when German football players disrespected the national anthem, they were punished.
Fucking hell, that does sound familiar.
I told you, bro.
He talked about creating jobs for everyone. He built roads and infrastructure and camps. He knew how to use the new media, radio, newsreels, and in 1935, he started his own TV network 4 years before Americans were introduced to television.
Heil Hitler!
He even knew how to use fake news.
Im Lager Juden von verschiedenen Berufen haben die Gelegenheit, ihr Berufsleben wieder aufzunehmen.
Oh, how the crowds flocked to see him. But his Nazi party only won 32% of the seats in parliament, which the Germans called the Reichstag. The popular vote was won by Germany's left liberal parties. Hitler wanted more. A few weeks after his inauguration, there was a terrorist incident. Somebody set the German parliament building, the Reichstag, on fire. Many believed it was the Nazis who did it in order to create a national emergency. But Hitler blamed the Communists. The Communist Party was banned, and their seats in parliament taken away. The liberals were vanquished, and the public supported Adolf Hitler, taking complete control.
It's only gonna take one false flag, bro.
Yeah, let's hope it don't come to that.
This Jewish weekly in Germany published a front-page editorial saying that everyone should calm down. Now that the Nazis are in power, we don't believe that Herr Hitler and his friends will do all the things that they promised. They won't suddenly take away the constitutional rights of German Jews. They won't lock us up in race ghettos or unleash the murderous mobs on us. They can't do these things because the Constitution won't let them. Back in the US, the New York Times agreed. They reassured the American people that things would not be that bad. They even wrote flattering articles and said that Hitler's anti-Semitism was not so genuine or violent as it sounded, and he was merely using anti-Semitism as a bait to catch followers.
When you track how people first reacted to Hitler and Mussolini, they said, oh, he's just insane. Or the classic thing is that the elite party, in this case, the GOP, we're going to invite him into power. And then we're going to control him.
How am I doing? Am I doing okay? I'm president. Hey, I'm president. Can you believe it, right?
Over and over in history, what has happened is that these people get invited in, they get legitimized, and then they take over the show.
Susan Sontag, she said, we're just one 9/11 away from losing our democracy.
Yeah, I mean, I may be a bit more pessimistic. I think we're 0 9/11s away. We have to think, we have to reflect, we have to think these are the kinds of things which happen in history. Let's not trade the real freedom for fake safety. When there is a terrorist attack, the thing we have to mobilize for is not safety, but freedom.
History really is repeating itself.
Yeah, bro. It's frightening.
If your children are watching, be warned, the president did not use polite language. Quote, Tuesday will be Power Plant Day and Bridge Day, all wrapped up in one in Iran. There will be nothing like it. Open the fucking strait, you crazy bastards, or you'll be living in hell. Just watch.
Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States.
Last week, ICE agents fanned out in raids like this one in every state,
ripping children away from their families under this new policy.
¿De dónde son ustedes? ¿Y tú?
Guatemala.
No llores. Vas a llegar con... Mira, ella te va a explicar y te va a ayudar.
Taking babies away from their mother and locking up one or the other and separating them because they did no harm to anybody. They just didn't comply with the stupid regulations. That's a crime against humanity, in my judgment. The Statue of Liberty stands there, you know, send me you're tired, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. I lift my lamp beside the golden door. Where? We don't see it in this country, and it pains me. And that's the world in which we live. And we've got to change it or perish.
Makes you wonder who the good guys are, bro.
There are no good guys or bad guys. It's just war.
How was it? It was evil. I don't really know what you expect me to say when you say how was it. Thousands of fire bombs dropping all over the place, explosions, heat, fire, people screaming, people burning, people alight. Well, it wasn't. After about half an hour, it started developing into something which was really bad. And so you go out and you come out there and the whole place is a furnace. It's a furnace. Because we were in the centre of Dresden. It was the second wave which really brought the tornado into being. Because then they started dropping the £4,000 blockbusters and £4,000 of napalm, which if it dropped anything within about 300 yards was immediately incinerated. It dehumanises anything that you've experienced before. I've been through 6 years of war. I've lost all but 3 of the 28 blokes I joined up with in 1937. I've been in every battle in the Middle East. I've been in Italy, I'd come home, I'd been captured at Arnhem, but nothing prepared me for seeing women and children alight and flying through the air. Nothing prepared me for that. But Dresden itself, I said and I still say, and I've said it in print and I've said it on broadcast, I'll never forgive the people who ordered those raids, and that goes for all of them. Churchill, Attlee, all of them. Between that, they were still carrying on bombing other cities like this. And then of course they tried to put the blame on somebody else. We were supposed to be the good guys. We was going to war to rescue Europe from the evil of the Third Reich. And we finished up being worse than they were.
This is humanity's biggest problem. Civilizations killing each other because a small handful of people convinced them to.
It's the same in every war, bro.
I'm at the point now where I don't think I fought for the country. I fought for some politician's view on something. There are particular guys that I think of that I killed. And I remember one dude in particular that I killed, and like I shot his buddy, and then I came through his room. I killed him in front of his wife in a bedroom because he went for a gun. And I think about him now and it's like, all right, why did I kill that guy? Well, because he went for a gun. Okay, but why did he go for a gun? Well, because I was in his fucking room at 2 in the morning. Well, why was I in his room at 2 in the morning? Well, because George fucking Bush was pissed that Saddam Hussein allegedly wanted to kill his dad, so we invaded. And then I start to think, was this guy funny? What if I met him in Paris over a coffee? Would we actually like each other and I just kill him because a politician sent us here for weapons of mass destruction that didn't exist? The only reason we were killing each other is because we were born on different parts of the world. That's it.
Yeah. When you start seeing Ukraine and some of these things that are happening right now, like putting us in these wars that there's just no winners. And when you've been to those countries, it's like, damn, like those are real people. I watched real people there. And it doesn't feel real from the United States because we just see it on TV. But like when you've walked those streets, it just hits you different.
People need to wake up to what's going on, right?
We're all too scared to be called anti-Semitic.
My name is Stephen Kopos, and I am a child survivor of the Holocaust in Hungary, Budapest. I was in hiding on false papers, etc., which happened after October 44. Soon after, our location was caught up in the fighting between Germany and the invading Soviet troops. So we had double jeopardy. I think that's an important background, understanding Gaza, because I can relate to their experience both of the destruction and the fighting, as well as the insecurities of hiding.
Yes. Are you Jewish?
I am Canadian.
Would you consider yourself to be anti-Semitic?
Of course not.
And I don't either, but this is how you're going to be labeled and I'm going to be labeled just for speaking out about Israel. Have you gotten attacks like that before?
Yes, I have.
How ridiculous do you find them?
Well, totally ridiculous. But my family lost 15 people to the death groups.
In your assessment, do Israelis view Palestinians in the same way that Germans viewed the Jews?
Yes, I'm afraid, to some extent, unfortunately.
Comments, right?
You can call out the actions of Israel without being anti-Semitic.
I'm an Australian citizen, I'm 83, and I have never been so ashamed of Israel as I am at this moment. To me, it seems as if Hitler has won. He's changed us, Jews, from being compassionate and caring and do unto others as you would have them do unto you, into this vicious, nationalist nation. It is not anti-Semitic to have a different opinion on the wartime actions now. I call upon all Jews to shout, beg, scream for a ceasefire.
Israel won't stop, right?
They'd have to if more people would talk about it.
They're letting fucking politicians slurp on all of our fucking money goes to Israel, and they're using it to fucking people. It's like everybody is scared out of their wits right now. It's like our religious leaders are afraid to speak out, and it's like it's a time where it's like Satan is amongst us, and our religious leaders are fucking talking about bullshit at the poll. It's just like, what is going? I don't know, man.
You gotta get you off the internet, the president, son. You're losing your fucking marbles.
You think I am?
Come hang out with us. Just chill.
Here. What do you think is gonna happen? You think we're gonna be okay?
I hope so. I don't know. I can't believe we went to this war. When we started in Iran, I was like, this can't be true.
And what about Lebanon now?
I know. Israel's invaded Lebanon. Yeah.
And it's like, just fucking stop it. What do you need?
Well, supposedly, they're trying to stop the...
That's crazy, though, if you're the fucking tanks. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to stop them, fucking stand in front of the fucking mirror and start there.
Joe, what the fuck happened to you?
Should we bring this up? I guess we have to. So this just happened. We just found out that Charlie Kirk got shot. It's awful. And is he dead?
That's what was just...
One of the guys out there just said...
Folks in the lobby was just...
I've been looking at it. Confirmed.
Whoa. This is happening while I was out elk hunting.
What town did it happen in? I like Utah.
Like I said, I was in Utah at the time.
Oh, you were?
Happened. Yeah, I was hunting in the mountains.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah. I don't mean nothing. I started getting all these text messages from people wanting me to comment on things. I was like, what are you talking about? I literally didn't know what was going on. But then I had to use the Starlink to get online. And you lay it on the ground and get high-speed internet. It's incredible.
That's cool shit.
Yeah. But that's how I had to, research it. Find out what the fuck people are talking about.
What the fuck?
You don't want to get taken out,
Why would you redact references to Israel in your Kennedy files for 6 decades? Like, what is that?
That's almost an admission.
So a year ago this week, the new president, right after inauguration, issued an executive order declaring that all files related to the Kennedy assassination, MLK, and Bobby Kennedy's assassination had to be released. They haven't all been, unfortunately. But in tranches of documents that have been released in the last 12 months, we've seen again and again references to Israel, and there are a lot of references to Israel, have all been redacted for 62 years, 63 years. I don't understand. Like, why would that be? Why are there 2 monuments to Jim Angleton in Israel that are put you in CIA? I think it's all very odd, and you hear people complain about conspiracy theories, and I'm definitely against conspiratorial thinking because it's crazy. On the other hand, if you don't tell people the truth, like, what are they supposed to think?
It was Israel, right?
What's mad is all these Christian countries sending them money, and Israel don't even like them.
Guys, it is fascinating to watch Christian Zionists supporting Israel. After all, it is not going so well for Christians over in that part of the world. For starters, it appears it is culturally normal for Jewish adults and children to spit on Christians. And even Officer Tatum, a known Israeli mouthpiece, told Benjamin Netanyahu to his face that he got spit on when he visited the Holy Land.
We had only one incident where a small child spit on one of the pastors.
And let's be real, Israeli spitting is the least of Christian concerns over there. The IDF routinely prevents Christians from worshiping, and Israel literally bombed the last remaining Catholic church in Gaza.
Tonight, a look at the damage to Gaza's only Catholic church after it was struck by Israeli artillery,
which resulted in the Pope calling the act outright barbarity. Folks, if you are pissing the Pope off, you have to be fucking up big time. And the craziest thing to me about this is that American Christian Zionists are actively funding this. Their churches donate tens, if not hundreds of millions of dollars a year straight to Israel. And it makes me wonder, are these people aware that they are raising money for people that appear not to even like them? Blows my mind.
It's fucking crazy they keep sending them money.
Yeah, right.
Where do those M16s come from? USA. Yep, you heard that right. We are sending American guns to Israel, and they are getting handed out by guys like Ben-Gvir to Israeli settlers that then in turn use them to attack Palestinians, some of which are Palestinian Americans. And it got so bad that in 2023, the Biden administration halted the sale of rifles to Israel because of all of these settler attacks. Ah yes, our greatest ally is using our own guns to attack Americans and innocent Palestinians. How wonderful. For those not familiar, Ben-Gvir is a far-right Israeli politician known for his bloodlust in eradicating Palestinians. He's the type of guy that enjoys wearing news pendants on his shirt for fun. And here he is celebrating the recent law that legalized the death penalty for Palestinians. And this has widely been criticized as a racist apartheid law. As long as Ben-Gvir remains alive, he will be a guy that advocates for the ethnic cleansing of Palestinians entirely.
So the American taxpayer money is going to Palestine, to Israel, using it to kill Americans. Remember, our village is 80% American.
They're shooting innocent people, right?
And running them over with bulldozers.
Of course, they pancaked Rachel Corrie and had pancake parties, put in her face that kind of dollar.
Yeah, people won't think this is real. They should look it up. Rachel Corrie, American college girl, I think she was 22 or something, beautiful young girl. She was there trying to stop them from bulldozing a Palestinian's house illegally. I think that was probably in the West Bank.
And they defended her with debris and then ran over hers. Slowly rushed her. She died a day or two later in the hospital. And then they threw a pancake party, because they smashed her into pancakes, mocking her. This is our greatest ally. How are Americans not fucking outraged? Harder than how look at this. They're trying to protect the doctor's house. Yeah, trying to protect the doctor's house. They crush her to death and throw a party mocking her. Not a peep out of any of our politicians. It's just like stole her corneas too. They stole her eyes.
I don't know anyone can support it.
They've been fighting the war for years, right?
I'm not a witness or a named witness in connection with any of Epstein's crimes. I have never had any knowledge of Epstein abuse of his victims. I was never involved in any capacity.
Is she getting in first before something that's going to come down the line later today or the weekend?
It certainly sounds that way. Another possible interpretation is that far from the Iran war being some giant complicated distraction from the Epstein files, it could be that the Trumps are trying to bring up the Epsteins to distract from the disaster that is the Iran war. I think it may be that crazy. Melania, I think, is probably getting out ahead of perhaps something that's coming. But it was very strangely timed, and like everything Melania does, very just strange entirely.
I find it hard to believe that wars just distract people from the Epstein files.
Come on, bro. It's all a distraction.
How are things going for the Trump administration right now, Antonia? Things are going so well that a war that has bumped the Epstein investigation to the back page for the last 5 weeks is going so badly that the First Lady of the United States makes an unscheduled, impromptu statement about the Epstein investigations that the administration was so desperate to get out of the headlines, get back in the headlines during an international armed conflict where 48 hours ago, the President of the United States, her husband, was threatening the destruction of a whole civilization. So we are 48 hours separated between threatening war crimes and distracting from the threatening of war crimes and a colossal disaster of our own creation in the Middle East. And now we are burying a statement by the First Lady about an investigation that the Department of Justice has so bungled that Pam Bondi, who 1 week ago was the Attorney General of the United States and who 1 week from now should be testifying before the House Oversight Committee, will not be testifying. And the argument that the administration is advancing there is, well, she's no longer the Attorney General.
What a fucking shit show.
They always protect nonsense, bro.
Trump's former spiritual advisor has been released from jail after serving just 6 months from
a 12-year-old girl. Robert Morris, the 64-year-old founder of Gateway Church, one of the largest megachurches in America, walked out of an Oklahoma jail just after midnight after completing the 6-month jail portion of his plea deal. Morris pleaded guilty last October to 5 counts of indecent acts with a minor. The offenses began on Christmas night in 1982 when Morris was a traveling evangelist staying at the victim's family home. Cindy Clemishire says she was molested over a 4.5-year period starting when she was just 12. Morris served on Trump's Evangelical Advisory Board during his 2016 campaign and hosted Trump at his church in 2020, where Trump called him a great person with a great reputation. Under his plea deal, Morris received a 10-year suspended sentence but served only 6 months. He must now register as an offender for life and serve 9.5 years of probation.
How have we got to the point where someone like this can serve only 6 fucking months?
Come on, bro. The whole system's broke.
Evil is a slow-moving organism. By the time it coalesces into one giant terror, it is too late. We had spent too much time trying to comfort ourselves with the belief that the Constitution would save us. Elections would save us. The special prosecutor would save us. Impeachment would save us. We kept hoping, but it was that hope that killed us. Hope was wishful and passive and comforting. We didn't need comfort. We needed action. And sometimes I guess it takes a Donald Trump to make us wake up and realize that what we need to do is to acknowledge that we have to get rid of the whole rotten system that gave us Trump.
Trump is the final nail in the coffin. His job is to extract as much wealth as possible before the economy collapses.
I told you, bro. They've been planning it for years.
The American empire is fast disappearing, and everybody other than the American people know it. It is troubling for Americans to hear that we are the biggest debtor in the world. The United States' debt used to get a AAA rating by the agencies Standard & Poor, Moody, and Fitch from AAA, which is the best you can get. And then we can also see the second biggest holder of American debt for most of the post-World War II period has been the People's Republic of China. That's another reason you can't talk about this in America, because it would require explaining to Americans that the People's Republic of China currently owns about $750 billion worth of the debt of the United States, which it does. And then you do a little work and you discover that's down from over $1 trillion worth of U.S. debt that the Chinese held as little as 8 or 9 years ago, which means they've been declining. They've been unloading their holdings. Why might that be? Might they be worrying that it's unsafe to do so? You bet they might. And are they the only ones? Not at all.
Only the people can save us now, bro. But we'll have to save that for next time.
Hold up, Tim, we've got to do the giveaway. Before we get into the giveaway, we've got to say a big thanks to everyone ordering the merch. If you've already received your orders, let us know in the comments and post a picture in the community tab or tag us on Instagram. Once an order comes through, we have to make it, fold it, polybag it, and package it ready for you guys. So allow 2 to 4 working days for your order to be shipped. And a big thanks to our channel members. We don't do sponsors on our channel, so we can say whatever we want. And that's thanks to the support from you guys. It's hard to get good reach when we do episodes like this, so make sure you like the video and leave a comment. Let's get back to the giveaway.
Leave a comment for a chance to win in our next episode. Let's do this, bro.
Bang bang!
Blah blah.
Contact us on our website to claim your prize.
That's TerraTedsTales.com. Go grab some merch, bro.
And as always, thanks for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you in the next one.
Joe Rogan.
For fuck's sake.
Told you, bro.
On this beautiful spring day. My name is Jennifer. We have a great show for you. Great show. Later on, we're talking to peace activist Aziz Abu Sharad and Carol. No, they are a Palestinian.
Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel.
Genki desu ka? O genki desu ka?
Come on in and sit down because today we're going to be talking about the food VTuber epidemic.
Just go to Hot Topic with a sourdough roll and you'll get a goth bitch. You will.
The streaming world has evolved quite a bit in the last decade or so. For most streamers, the goal is to showcase an authentic personality by putting their face on their content. Is that what you think of when you think of streamers?
Or do you want to seem like, I'm a normal guy, I'm a normal girl, big boobies?
And the chat's like, look at oh humble me. But over time, however, tubing has morphed the streaming landscape drastically. Today, many people use elaborate avatars and play up their own original characters. However, not all VTubers are confined to the brightly saturated characters with fat, swinging, big fucking titties. Anime. No. VTubers are no longer anime girls. They're much more. In fact, it appears we're now entering a brand new era of VTubing, a bizarre trend where streamers take the form of anthropomorphic foods, mostly just from the burnt peanut. We're seeing this thing right now. With one man's success, it has altered the landscape of media, which is not a new thing. People do it all the time. Mr. Beast.
Changed YouTube forever.
Mr. Beast has changed the way that people interact with content now. That fucking, what's that one guy? Brent Rivera? Have you seen that motherfucker? Oh my god. It's the exact same thing. The cuts, the cues, the text, everything is identical to that Mr. Beast format, but that's just because people want to follow success. And I think people associate the food VTube thing as like, that's what people want to see.
It's funny, it's cute.
But people don't realize the personality comes with it. You have to be quick-witted. You have to have charisma, right?
People were comparing it to the annoying orange. It's like reverting back.
The fact that it's a peanut is like totally irrelevant.
No, that's the success.
That's the success with you. Okay, I forgot about that. Yeah. We're going to talk about this new trend, but we're also going to talk about how it's led to possibly the worst streamer in modern history. And it's quite the ride, so buckle up. The catalyst for this epidemic of food tubers is a well-known Twitch streamer that you've all probably heard about, the Burnt Peanut. I think he really blew up with Arc Raiders. I had a buddy that watched him all out when he did. I think he was an Escape from Tarkov guy back in the day. But anyways, funny guy, quick-witted, and good at games. Like that's like, you have to have that. I don't know if there's many Twitch streamers that do very well. I know people say that players are bad. I feel like you have to be actually pretty competent at games to make it like watchable. Like if I stream something, a game, oh my god forbid.
Yeah, you get grilled.
Horrible, tortured. I mean, people don't want to, and people are backseat gaming the whole time. You have to follow somebody that feels competent at the game. They're quick-witted, they're funny, they're likable, all those things. Like it's a very rare thing to have, I feel like. And over the last 2 years, the Burnt Peanut has risen to unfathomable fame. Every time I see that motherfucker on Twitch, it's like 60 to 70,000 people watching. It's pretty insane.
I think he's botting. Everybody on Twitch bots.
That's also cope, though, isn't it? He's botting. He's like, fuck off. Yeah, I see clips of him all the time. He's botting. Yeah, right. It wasn't until 2024, however, that he began gaining a large following after clips of his Tarkov streams went viral on TikTok.
Are you fucking serious right now? Are you serious?
People were initially drawn to upbeat personalities, a unique presentation, and the small details like his character's rotations of fun costumes. Which I will say, this does show, and it's a good example, of you just have to put in a little bit of effort to stand out. If you're already called a Burnt Peanut, it makes sense that like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna be a peanut avatar because what the fuck else am I gonna be? But then it's like, oh, what if I just gave him different clothes? And then you just use a stream deck or whatever. And there it is. And people are like, oh my God! But that's just because the whole landscape is so fucking boring and not inspired. That was like a deal back in the day when I first saw Dr. Disrespect streams. You'd see all those transitions and shit, and like, the production level on this is crazy. I mean, a lot of people can do that. It's just a matter of, do you have the gumption? Do you have the creative will? If I was watching this, I would want to see this. You know what I mean?
I want to see the burnt peanut sitting on a beanbag chair with the Xbox controller, Cheetos, you know, because it switches up the background and stuff. So I think that's exciting for.
Sorry, I don't know why, but I had a panic attack while you're talking. But to be fair, though, the large part of the Twitch landscape or streaming landscape is, how do I say this in a nice way? It's like people that aren't the most social, that are just good at games. And, you know, they have a quirky thing where they look at the camera and they're like, yo, that guy just got owned. Hey, Crystal Scepter, thank you so much for the 2 months, man. That's one thing that I found too. The bro culture on Twitch is insane. I didn't expect it. I think it's just mostly Call of Duty and that kind of thing, but it's always like, yo, okay, I'm dropping in. And I'm sitting there, I'm like watching it on like my break at work. I'm like, I wish that was me. This video is sponsored by Fume, the leaders in flavored air. Fume is the flavored air device designed to help people quit vaping and smoking by breaking the hand-to-mouth pattern. Cravings can come in when you least expect them. You have to find a way to fight the urge and not return to your old way. Burnt Peanut and his fan base are insufferable. People post videos of fans laughing, clapping their hands and feet to what looks like brain rot screaming content, which I want to interject here as well. That shit, you get popular enough, you're gonna get hate. You know what I mean? The motherfucker is a peanut VTuber playing Arc Raiders. If you're like, making fun of that, it's just a thing where it's just, it becomes popular, therefore, so I don't fucking like that anymore, actually. That's fucking stupid. And yeah, is there like some cringe comments? What the fuck? He says goop. Look at me goop. Whatever the fuck it is. Who cares? But that's the thing though, is it becomes an easy target because it's just, he's very well known. So I get to make my little content making fun of things. And there you go. Some adult fans even record themselves in tears on the floor as they react to his streams. I don't think I've ever had that, luckily. I don't think my fan base has ever been that dedicated where some guy's like, oh my God. Other Peanut fans hail him as a god and are extremely parasocial with him. And if you look at any comment section, even related to him, you'll find comments saying that he is the light in a dark world. Or that he needs to be on every TV in America, which he has dedicated fans. What the fuck? You can say that with any rabid fan base. Look at any fan base. The problem is when a fan base becomes rabid, they become insufferable. To people who aren't into that fandom. That's why you get like the Has-Been Hotel. People hate those fans, or like Amazing Digital Circus, all that kind of shit. Rick and Morty. It's just, it comes with the territory of being a huge like IP or star.
People just, they get rabid.
People get rabid, they get excited, they can't help it. Essentially, people treat the Burnt Peanuts audience like the classic millennial cringe, quirky chungus, spouting random like, oh, that's epic, hey, goop, all that kind of stuff, and people associate that's where it comes from, right? This weird behavior also started a trend of people making videos mocking the fan base, portraying them as man babies drooling over themselves and farting as they rock back and forth in pure bliss, which I will say I found a couple of my videos in those and it's funny.
Really?
Yeah. Usually it's people, it's like their feet on the desk and they're like all curled up like this and like, hey, and they clap their feet and there's like a monitor with like 7 things going, and I've seen my videos on there and I'm like, hell yeah. If one of my viewers is at home drooling in a spit bib right now, dude, praise the Lord. You know what I'm talking about? Hey, he has risen. But for people who think that the Burnt Peanut is the most annoying, like, oh my God, it's the fan base, it's so annoying, you probably should check out the competition of people that are copying him. Because the Burnt Peanut has seen massive success streaming in this style, it has inspired a whole new wave of copycats who try to treat his content as a formula for success. And if you scroll through TikTok or Instagram Reels, you are bound to find clips of people streaming as assorted food items and objects. After all, it's a very easy thing to set up with tons of YouTube tutorials instructing people how to mimic this recipe for success. You just gotta be food! Nick, what food would I be?
Cheeseburger.
Editor, put me as a cheeseburger now. I'm a cheeseburger! What's my thing? You know how he says goop, gloop, or whatever? What's mine?
Cheese. Just say cheese.
Oh, I got my delicious cheese. I'm going to get a triple stack burger on my cheese. Actually, I would watch that.
That'd be cool if their model changed. You can make like 12 stack cheeseburgers.
Whoa, too many patties! Yes! People, oh my God! God! For those who are even lazier, you can purchase the models online. And in fact, there's been a massive boom in VTuber modeling community. Many artists have made tons of money turning their 3D modeling portfolios into literal grocery stores. Accounts like The Prime Butter, The Sweaty Tomato, and The Casual Turnip are prime examples. However, there's definitely a reduction in both stream quality and just general personality because people find out that it's like there's just not a whole lot behind the personality that carries them. People online who come across these channels often call them out for copying the Burnt Peanuts formula, which is why nearly every one of these accounts has a video defending themselves and describing how their origin story is different, which I love. There's nothing I love. Dude, that's how I came up with the turnip. Okay? Why can't you just be like, yeah, I just like him. I want to do a food thing too. Why is that so bad?
Because nobody wants to seem like they're copying someone, even though they blatantly are.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be original.
Yeah. Well, dude, I actually was, well, it's a weird timing because I'm the burnt almond. Just like a weird coincidence that we kind of are just both nuts. Just the state of my mind, I guess. This isn't to say there's something wrong with mimicking the format, but it's very clear that the thing selling Burnt Peanut streams the most is high energy and personality. It's not his fucking VTuber thing, dude, all right? For those who are able to put on a good stream, the format definitely can work well. But this is all boiling down to one of the main reasons I wanted to make this video today, which is talking about one of the worst things that happened to the internet, I feel like, as of lately. I mean, is that too much to say? It seems so. I mean, it's pretty horrible. I fucking can't stand it. I mean, if I'm being honest. If you've been terminally online on the internet recently, you undoubtedly heard of a VTuber known as the Faithful Sheriff. And if you don't know who the Faithful Sheriff is, God bless you. Because this is the accumulation of the worst part of a copycat. If you wanted to be a fucking turnip or a tomato, or even if you want to be like, I'm an almond, I don't give a fuck. Like, do that. This version of the copycat, this is a parasite. This is a person that needs to be plucked off the and spit out. Bye-bye. Right off the bat, you'll notice that the man is blatantly mimicking the Burnt Peanut model. But we've already been getting ahead of ourselves because there's so much to unpack about the man behind the shell. Before the Faithful Sheriff, this creator went by Dr. Witnesser. He was certainly not known for his originality because even this was heavily inspired by another creator, Dr. Disrespect, who we talked about earlier.
I'll be honest, I'm feeling a little fatigued.
To warm you up to this kind of person, Dr. Witnesser's whole shtick was that, as a devout Christian, he would enter Fortnite games and aggressively push his teachings to those he is playing with. Before we even get into all this shit too, I just want to say, your beliefs are your own. Whatever you want to believe, you can believe it. If people are asking you questions, I don't see a problem with being like, hey, this is what I believe, blah, blah, blah. Your belief is your own, right? That is our right as Americans in this goddamn country. Rock, flag, and eagle, right, Nick?
Oh, yeah.
But being a guy going on Fortnite and trying to like convert people, it has to be the most opposite way of introducing people to your ideals.
I go into Fortnite and teach people the Bible.
This mouth.
Okay, Robert, you're like 8.
Like, it's just so creepy to me. The reason I say creepy is that there has been clips of him talking to children or even young adults in some weird way, and the way that he approaches this is he's always just like, you got a microphone? And people who are just playing, yeah. Do you believe in God? Where are we doing? Why are we going here? You know what I mean?
What's your name? My name, Quiz.
Hey, do you know who Jesus is?
As you would expect, many people did not take kindly to this and clowned on him in-game. No matter how bad the clips made him look, he'd still post them and he'd gain tons of views for it. Even when it makes you look bad, he knows it gets him engagement, and I think he's hiding behind the fact that he's like, oh, this is all for religious shit and not just money. And it's so blatantly obvious that it's just money-grabbing bullshit where it's like, well, I'm just spreading the good word, blah, blah, blah. Oh, fuck off, dude. That's not it. It's you rage-baiting people into getting clicks and shit, and then just using different successful archetypes to like rage bait people. It's the fucking worst. Like, I pisses me off so much, actually. And in many of these clips, you see him getting ruthlessly trolled by adult players, only for him to utterly fail to steer the conversation into a serious discussion about God.
I should probably tell you what I do.
Are you a hitman?
I got a particular set of skills.
Male on male porn guy?
No, I have a particular set of skills.
Taking it without flinching.
It feels like a bit. Like, it's kind of like, not levels of Nikado, where it's like, I'm presenting this persona and I have all this kind of like crazy shit. I'm sure at a point he did start off doing this, but then he realized like, oh, I'm making a lot more money by rage baiting. So that, and I just don't think that the man is quick-witted enough or smart enough to like actually have interesting exchanges with people. So then it just divulges to, wow, really? Really? Okay, so I guess that's it. Wow, okay.
And
and I'm on 30 FPS. What in the fuck?
Bro, let's watch the F-bombs here.
Even when people try to genuinely tell him that they're not interested, he'd often force the conversation throughout the game in an incredibly antisocial way. And at times, the constant rejections from normal adults trying to play a video game would get to him. In one video, a man from China tells him to knock it off, only for him to start whining about how he's trying to stop his freedom of speech.
Oh, you want to stop my freedom of speech and expression? Okay, gotcha. I didn't know you were that oppressive. My bad.
Fuck off. In a Fortnite game, my God. It makes me sick to my stomach. As fun as it is to point and laugh at an overbearing Fortnite preacher, this man is very often having these conversations with incredibly young and impressionable children. In one diabolical clip, Dr. Witnesser gets into a game with what sounds like a 4-year-old child that can hardly articulate his words.
You know how much an Xbox cost?
No.
It costs $400.
You know how much the life of Jesus costs?
Even after hearing the boy talk about how he just got a brand new toy from Walmart, he gladly starts going into some spiel as if he's capable of retaining the information. All right, so you realize that if you die right now, you're gonna go to hell, right? Because you don't believe in God? Oh, no! That kind of thing. That's not gonna have a lasting impact on this child. You realize that you're a bad person, right? Your mom and dad are going to hell.
Some people think that's what you need to instill in children.
Well, I disagree. Obviously, these are maybe conversations of religion and stuff maybe you want to have with your parents or peers or I don't know, whatever, right? Dr. Witnesser believes he's doing the Lord's work, however, and this somehow extends to him straight up ruining Santa for one child.
I don't mind what you do, but telling the kid that Santa isn't real is messed up. Santa and Christmas is pagan idolatry, okay? If there's a kid who asks me if Santa's real or not, I'm going to tell him the truth. I'm not going to lie.
God. Kid's like, hey, I can't wait for Christmas. Yeah, you realize that Santa's not real. It's a pagan religion. It's adultery, right? You knew that, right? Stupid fucking kid. It feels that aggressive to me.
That feels like high schooler me. I would say that.
Yeah, exactly. You realize that God and Santa are probably not real, right? The only one that's real is the Easter Bunny. So I'd probably start worshiping him. Most people have no idea that he's streaming during these interactions, and when one teenager found out, kindly asked to not be posted online. He angrily rants and calls him weird and posts it anyways, which it's, once again, why? He got banned indefinitely on Twitch after telling a Muslim child, and I quote, if you were to die in your sins today, you'd be sentenced to hell.
Is he wrong, though?
We don't know. And see, that's why I believe in the good man. That's why I tell every child that. You realize that if you die right now, you're going to go to hell, right?
Yeah, are you baptized?
Yeah, specifically Muslim children. I don't even ask their beliefs. You're going to hell when you die. Thank you, Dr. Witnesser. You rule.
You think people should just get baptized just in case, even if you don't believe? Or does that know? Is that a cheat code?
I don't think so, man. We see that a lot with like the Mormon wives and stuff like that, where it's like you try to like, well, the Bible says this, but it doesn't say that. You think like an omnipotent God is going to be like, how did you skirt around that?
I just stuck it in and my friend was jumping on the bed.
Exactly. I put it in. I didn't know it was going to slide in so easily. Okay, technically, that is okay. The God I like to believe in, he's like a fucking like storm cloud. You think he has like a human body? People always like ask like he's like gonna shake my hand and shit. No, he's gonna be a fucking storm cloud that's just like, what did you do? Repent.
I think we're just kind of like a mole on like God's back.
In your ideation of the world, God is a human man, probably like an overweight Italian guy, and we're a mole on his back.
Yeah, like our universe is just a tiny mole on his back.
Really puts things in perspective, doesn't it? We're so small. We're this big of a mole on God's big, hairy Italian back. Mamma mia. For a time, he claimed he would sue Twitch over this, but that doesn't seem to have happened. He's transitioned to other platforms, but he didn't make any waves until a particularly ridiculous stunt. On February 7th of this year, of our Lord's year, 2026, he'd randomly tweeted that he'd been in a horrible accident so bad that he'd possibly be disfigured for life. People were genuinely worrying and praying for him, not knowing that this was all complete and utter bullshit, right? But it's okay. Dude, I can white lie, Nick. All right? Muslim boy, you're going to hell. I got in a horrible accident, though. God is gonna love this. He'd fire up this next stream to reveal that he seemingly stole the Burnt Peanuts 3D model to use it his own, but with Bible in hand.
How are you going to sit here and post something on Instagram and act like all injured and this stupid filter? Well, it's not a filter. I woke up like this. I fell asleep watching the Bugulator. I woke up like this. I don't know what happened.
Isn't that funny? Isn't that a funny joke? It isn't. It definitely isn't rage bait to get you to click on the thing. Sympathy bait.
No.
Guys, it's a fucking bit. come on! Oh my God! People fucking piss me off, man. Fucking JC loves this shit. Hey, yo, JC!
What up?
Dude, I hope Jesus sounds like that. Yo, man. What the fuck is that? There's nothing but listen to Will Smith. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Get jiggy with it. Ooh! Do it to him! That would be fucking sick. Yo, JC, that shit's lit. He's up here. He's like so short. He's like handling comes up here. What's up, man? You my man. After starting as a singular joke stream that he claimed would not be a rebrand, he almost immediately changed his mind and leaned all the way into it. He soon updated the model to resemble a cowboy, occasionally accompanied by an accent, and would constantly break the third wall to try and explain the terrible lore of this character and justify why it's okay to basically rip the entire idea, to the point where he was even admitting that he plans on stealing his mannerisms as well.
People like, well, you're copying his mannerisms. Yes, that's part of the storyline. That's part of the storyline. I am turned into a peanut, so I'm going to copy some of the Peanut's mannerisms because that's part of what being a bungulator is in my story.
Not only is he taking from the burnt peanut, but he repeatedly talks about him and tries to set up some collabs so he can milk more views from them. And also, it's a great way where it's also trying to justify the actions. Well, he streamed with me, so it's fine.
So he's just trying to confuse people, right?
It's like when companies, like, they will make a product that looks exactly like something else, so people will mistakenly buy that thing instead of the actual thing.
He'd be like, oh, that's the burnt peanut.
Yeah. He did, however, add a new creative spin to the character that he can be 100% credited for, and it's that the model farts. In fact, he made a Twitch channel point reward that rings out endlessly alongside a green gas club from behind him. That's awesome. Yes. Okay, now that is actually fucking sick. That's really funny. Yo, you watch The Faithful Sheriff 2? That shit's tight, man. To The Faithful Sheriff, this farting meme is gold tier, baby, as he lets it rip constantly in the middle of talking to children. It's so freaking funny. You ever see a guy like fart in a video and there's always one comment that's always just like, seriously, what's funnier than farts?
It's the universal joke.
It's a universal joke.
Everybody can laugh at it.
As more people grind out content criticizing him and his reputation gets worse and worse, he has only tried harder to justify his routine of constantly talking to children. Not only is he interrogating children on stream about whether or not it's okay to talk to them to make himself feel better, but he's even been reduced to posting AI Google results about Fortnite's game demographic to prove that it's not entirely a kid's game, which obviously it's not entirely a kid's game, but you do openly talk to children a lot.
If you hear someone's a child, you should just be like, okay, I'm not gonna talk to them through the stream, but it's like, I gotta have that content.
Exactly. It's a conscious decision that you're making to be like, I'm going to clip this, or I'm going to even do this on stream because you know that's going to get a reaction. It's going to drive traffic to your channel. Just like in the past, people go out of his way to grind out as much clips as possible to maximize exposure, even when it's completely inappropriate. Like, what am I going to do? Waste the content? Come on! Where's the Muslim kid at? You're going to hell. Isn't that right, JC? Thanks, JC. You're awesome. Sorry, Muslim kid. Why are you crying? Clips like this lead to him being yet again ruthlessly destroyed online. And what's wild is that the response to the endless memes at this expense are now leading into the realm of legal action. My boys, the Super Mega Boys, would post an edited image of the Faithful Sheriff's avatar with a realistic cock and balls, saying that he requested it. And it's very funny. It's a very, very funny tweet. The Faithful Sheriff laughed it off at first, but then people started gaslighting him into believing that he genuinely thought that it was his idea. And many even pretended to be Christian parents that were disappointed in him for putting up such heinous sexual content in the presence of children. He started anger posting about how this was all a lie, only for Super Mega to start posting very obviously fake DMs where he supposedly requested that they make the meme alongside a picture of him exposing his real penis for reference. It's so... He then posted a video where he pleaded for people to believe him, even that he will pursue legal action against them for defaming him. In an attempt to prove it, he shows his own DMs and tells people that the IRL image of him that they used is far too small because he weighs 300 pounds.
This is not me. Y'all have seen me. This person probably weighs about 170. I'm 300 pounds. Not proud of it, but that's how much I weigh.
That couldn't be me because I'm a big boy, guys. Obviously. Why are you even indulging in this? fucking moron. Am I crazy? As of now, Super Mega has now received the cease and desist in the mail. And ironically, this meme was just a copy of a similar meme that they posted on the Burnt Peanut a while back. If the faithful sheriff had just laughed it off and took it in stride, it wouldn't have gotten nearly as many eyes on it. The reason that it got so big is that he's like, oh my god, this is not true.
He took the bait.
Oh my god, hook, line, and fucking stinker, dude. The controversies wouldn't stop there. Around this time, the faithful sheriff decided to open up a community Discord, something that is constantly infiltrated by haters and trolls, which also, here's another thing. Community Discord, free open community Discords.
You gotta be careful.
It's like a prison yard. Many are claiming that mods are harassing them and banning them based on their gender identity. Others are claiming that the minors are being exposed to inappropriate content. Because the online space is flooded with people gaslighting him to continue the troll, it's difficult to tell what's real and what isn't. Unfortunately, he can't help himself from responding to tons of what are most likely just jokes at his expense. And that's where we're at with the faithful sheriff. It's been popping up. Mostly it was the Super Mega thing. Saw the Super Mega thing, and then you just see, you click on one thing, and then your whole algorithm gets exposed to this bullshit, and it's like, it's the worst version of a copycat person. People like the Brent Rivieras and all the people who copy Mr. Beast and stuff, at the end of the day, they're their own entity. Are they taking things from that content? Yes, of course. Are people that are using food icons taking from the Burnt Peanut craze? Sure. You can't help that. That's going to happen. Also, people might just be like, I think it's funny, and I like the Burnt Peanut, I'm going to do it. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's doing it in a way where it is so deceitful, and it's so ironic coming from a person that's supposed to be a Christian with good values, who is doing nothing but being a parasite online and using this like copycat method to financially get ahead. I really don't believe any of the virtues that he has is earnest. I don't think that it's like for a good cause. Maybe his content did start off with him like maybe wanting to do like, I'm trying to just tell people about the good word, but now it's come to the point where it's pathetic brain rot. People that post rage baity shit, after a while it gets so stale to people that they will continuously up that game to keep getting clicks. So who knows what happens now? I don't know. Never in a million years could the people building modern civilizations comprehend such a brain-dead topic like this to exist, and I'm sorry that I had to even indulge it on you, but it was on my mind. If you're someone out there who wants to take inspiration from their favorite creators and use it to make some fun content, by all means, go for it. I mean, that's how people start. You're in love with something and you want to emulate it. You want to like grow as that person. You want to become that person. It's how art gets made. That's how people interact and make things online. It's harmless overall, but there's something to be said about people who do it solely because they're desperate to latch on to whatever can get them views, to get them money, to rage bait people into clicking on something for analytical value. For people at the faithful sheriff, what else is there to say? The man is seeking out anyone, including children, to pressure them, to convert them while they're young and impressionable or in a bad spot in their life. He's not saving anybody. He's doing it all because he knows it pisses you off and you'll click on it. And I'm a part of that problem too. I'm making a video on it. But at the end of the day, I would rather there be a piece of content out there that is like having this discussion versus just letting it just be like, well, it is what it is. In conversations, if there was going to be religious conversations and stuff, not only should it be left with mature adults, but it should also be people who are actively searching for something and not just like blatantly confronted with a fucking peanut farting with a cowboy hat on, trying to rage bait you into for a good vertical clip. Fucking obnoxious, and I hope it dies out really soon. And just to be abundantly clear, even though that this person is doing something that I believe to be shitty and wrong and I don't condone it, that doesn't mean that it gives us the right to go out and harass this person. If anything, this is just a lesson to learn for the future. We're better than that. So please, audience, if you're watching this, don't do that. Just avoid it and move on with life. If you're in Fortnite, keep the mic off. We'll see you next time.